So one of the difficult concepts about repetitive strain injury is understanding use and overuse. And one of the things that I've seen, I look at various opinions and ideas on the internet, and someone had the idea that it was good to punish the fingers, punish the body, to be clear, because the body is meant to be overused, in his opinion. Or he was saying that, you have to do more in order to build strength, which is true to a certain extent if you're building muscle, but there is a true validity to overuse. So here to explain this really important distinction is our chief medical expert, Dr. Robert Markison. Click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when new videos are posted. Dr. Markison, can you explain the difference between healthy use of the hand and overuse of the hand?
Well, healthy use is everyday tasks, and we've become so artificial with a combination of rural, self-sufficient living, where you go gather some food, some vegetables, and so on, take care of business, cook it up, not necessarily be on much of a power grid, not be on the internet, not be all distracted, and have cycles of action and repose in the early human. We're pre-agricultural human, not to say we should be Bedouins all of a sudden, but we don't seem to understand in a go system where we're cartoon characters that there have to be cycles of action and repose. But that's true of everything, including the heart itself, because you look at systole, pumping, diastole, filling, systole, diastole. You look at hands opening and closing. These are cycles of action and repose. When you're in a constant go state on a computer keyboard, that's not letting you refresh the inflow, outflow, circulation, oxygen, cell, nutrient delivery, waste, washout. You've got some accelerated faucet under extreme pressure, and that's kind of unnatural. So we've adapted and acculturated as a species to a constant go state, and that's not good. And then you exacerbate it by overdoing the punishing behaviors where you do too much, where you're using these bands of sorts and stretching against great resistance. And my guitar players come in with all sorts of intrinsic and extrinsic musculotendinous strain problems because they've just been doing too much in the hopes of being able to shred on a guitar or whatever it is. But let's go back to a little more wisdom of the ancients and look at the Baoding balls. These are a very nice natural way, and you don't have to be a speed demon with these things, but just rolling these balls around, for example, is a very pleasant way to balance the inside intrinsic muscles that live in the hand and the extrinsic marionette-like pulls that live in the forearm and go across the wrist into the digits. And so this is a very pleasant way to get the hands really balanced, functional, and so on. And I do these for a couple minutes at the beginning of the day, the end of the day, and that's perfectly okay. That's not punishment. That's harmonic use of harmony between small and large muscle. But my weightlifting days and all that kind of stuff, extreme stuff, that's long gone, because my whole life is built on precise ambidextrous use of my hands. Anything that would threaten that by way of punishment would be career ending for me, and take and subtract out my whole scope of use, which includes art and craft and other things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an episode on ambidexterity that's fascinating, and you'll see it in Dr. Markison's playlist. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Your insurance policy, assuming you have two hands, is ambidexterity, because there's a trophic aspect, meaning a growth factor involved in starting early lifelong use of both hands. And it's kind of something that pianists know about if they're serious on the keyboard, but it's growing and maintaining both halves of brain by inputs, outputs to both hands, and equal use of the hands is really a blessing.
Now, the students who have watched the episode on ambidexterity sometimes report back to me, and one of them said she started to brush her teeth with the other hand. And I think that's a small but important step in learning how to train. Sometimes I write left-handed, I also write with my feet, and I'm equally illegible with both feet, but that's kind of great because it shows that they're both developed at the same level.
Absolutely right. I mean, you walk and assuming that you're, have equal muscle sensory control of your lower limbs, then that rhythm, left, right, left, whatever it is very valuable because you're using large geographic areas of sensory motor cortex in the brain to coordinate that. So if you want equal use of your legs to walk, why wouldn't you use your hands equally and have idea repositories by hemispheric thinking? Because the best problem solvers I've known since I'm a surgeon in the operating room who have plan A, B, C, D, Z, they're brilliant ambidextrous people who use it and teach with it.
That is so wonderful to hear. And I think it's going to inspire a lot of people to try ambidexterity. And one more thing occurred to me as you were talking, Dr. Markuson. Using the brain keeps it from atrophying. I mean, I keep reading more and more about neuroplasticity, and I'm wondering if that could also help you stay younger in your brain if you bother to train an untrained limb.
I'm lucky to have a broad circle of ambidextrous friends, and they're as young and fresh as springtime, and their idea flow, their creativity, the novelty of thought, the problem solving skills, it's all there. And so it's not that I put out a casting call for ambidextrous friends, but maybe I'm a magnet for them. But it's a wonderful thing to have fun interaction with ambidextrous humans. Try it out.
We will. Thank you, Dr. Markuson.
You're welcome.